I tried filming an intro to this video like 1,000 times, but I'm just not used to sitting down and filming a long form video. It's been a little over a year. I mean, I posted a video, what was that, like a couple months back, but before that it was a year. Just so weird. But anyway, I figured I would just come on and do like a chit chat, get ready with me while I try some new makeup. I've been wanting to try this primer out. This is the Christian Cowan, I think is how you say the name. I think he's a fashion designer. This is by Smashbox. Okay, I'm not going to be trying this primer because this is already open. The seal's not even on it. That kind of just freaks me out. It feels like half of this is empty. So yeah, I'm just gonna go in with my everyday primer. This is the Murad Hydration Primer. I love this one. It already has SPF in it and it really blurs your pores. It just gives you like a doll finish. Also, I have oil on my face in case you're like, what is going on there? It just looks super greasy. Oh, by the way, this is the Born This Way foundation. Shade is this guy. This is in warm nude. I love the combination of this primer with this foundation, and also I trade on and off with sometimes I'll use the Makeup Forever. This is the HD Skin. That's a really good combo with this primer. But how are you guys doing? It's been such a long time. Can you hear my nose? Oh, I haven't updated you guys on my nose. Well, now I have half makeup on right now, but this is my nose. It's been a year and a half, and let me tell you guys, that was a really dark journey. I actually filmed a whole Q&A at 6 months because I told you guys that I would be keeping up with you along the way. And I did film those videos. I think I even filmed a year when it had reached a year, and I filmed another Q&A. But I just never got around to editing them. To be honest, I was just in such a funk from it. I would say well, I'll make a video on it, but I would say a full year I was in a really deep depression, just feeling like I had made a mistake, and it my nose was very upturned for a good, I would say a good 8 months, and it finally started looking like a normal nose, at least normal to me. It took probably about the full year point, maybe a little bit past that, to where I felt normal. But that's kind of another reason why I dropped off the face of the earth on here. But also, it's just really hard managing a bunch of different platforms, trying to post on Instagram and then TikTok, and TikTok's just being like the worst right now with algorithm. This one smells like chocolate. This is the Dibs contour stick, by the way. So it has blush on the other side, which is pretty cool. Cute. This has really nice coverage to it. It is kind of weird though to have like a chocolate scented product on your face. Making me hungry. For setting powder, I'm mixing Kimchi's Puff Puff Pass powder. This is in the translucent, and I'm mixing it with, this is Kunafa, I think is how you pronounce it, by Huda Beauty. And this is just like a yellow shade. It's a little bit deeper than a banana shade, but I think that she has a banana version as well. But I just figured out recently, after doing my makeup for years, that I have a yellow undertone, which a makeup artist had told me that before, but for some reason, I just always felt that I was neutral, because whenever I wore like a neutral foundation, it would match like my neck. It felt like it matched my skin, but I always felt like I kind of had like a sickly look once I was finished my entire makeup, but I never could like pinpoint what it was. And recently I came across this setting powder that was in my drawer when I was cleaning things out. Like, oh, you know what? Let me try that. And now I feel like it's really brought me back to life. Whenever I look back at my makeup in any other video, I'm like, oh, it's like crap. I know that everyone's on this like pink powder kick right now, but I don't think that a lot of people understand that if you have a yellow undertone and you're using a pink powder, like it might help with brightening, but if it just doesn't match your undertone, then it's kind of working against you. I feel like this video is so boring. To be completely honest with you guys, I'm just in a really bad mood, and I forced myself to film this because I've just been in such a funk for probably about a month now. And I always get in a funk around this time of year, especially right after Halloween, because I just kind of almost have like an identity crisis a little bit, which is so stupid because it's pretty much Halloween for me year round. But during October, I try to make them more like wearable looks that people would actually wear out during Halloween. And then I feel like when October ends, it's like this weird period where I don't necessarily want to get into Christmas looks right away, because then I feel like I'll burn out like all of my inspiration for Christmas looks once December actually comes. So I try to stay away from that. But then there's not really any like Thanksgiving looks to do. I mean, I'm sure that there are, just nothing that I'm super inspired by. So I just kind of feel like I'm in limbo for all of November. But I feel like this time it's more of a funk than I normally have around this time of year. And I don't know what it is exactly, like how to pinpoint it. And I just haven't been able to sit down and create something. I just feel uninspired. I always feel a little weird talking about this because if you follow me over on Instagram, you probably would have no idea because I do post very consistently, but it's just because I have a lot of content saved up. And I kind of do that on purpose because I know that I go through these phases where it's just really hard for me to create. And I can go a little easier on myself during these times because I know that I have backup content. So I just kind of make those editing days instead. But even those I kind of blow off when I'm just not feeling right. But then by not doing anything, I feel even worse at the end of the day. I just feel like I just wasted an entire day doing nothing. And depression is such a tricky thing for me because I told you guys I had a really bad experience on Lexapro for depression. And I know that there's like a million other medicines that you could take, but I just had such a bad experience on that that I never ever want to try going on medication again. And I think there's also just something within me that knows that I'm not doing everything in my power to feel better. So I don't want to just take medication to cure it when I'm not even doing everything that I could possibly be doing to help. You know, I could be eating better. I could be exercising a lot more than I do. I mean, I have actually been better about that. I've been trying to get on a routine and I have weeks where I'm on it and I'm working out just about every single day. And then if I take like 2 days off in a row, I'm done for. And then I fall off and then it's hard to get back in the swing of things. But yeah, I'm just not in a great headspace. And I mean, this has kind of been like an ongoing problem for years now, but I want so bad to have like really good friends. Not that I don't have some, but it's just like I crave so much to have like a really good friendship, like really close. I don't know how to describe it. Like that kind of friendship where someone like genuinely cares about you. You know, I just always find myself feeling like no one cares. And maybe that's just my head and I don't want to cry. I hate this. But I just feel like I leave so many hangouts feeling like used up. You know what I mean? I feel like I care so much about other people. Like I ask so many questions about other people. Like I'm actually invested in what's going on in their life and I remember like things that they've said so that I can follow up with them on different things that they've told me in the past. And I'm really hard on myself going into a hangout trying to remember everything because I always want someone else to be seen because that's like a problem that I feel like I had growing up. Like, you know, everything goes back to childhood. So I try to go above and beyond and try to make other people feel seen and heard and you know. So I always make sure to ask people targeted questions. Like I never really ask like blanket statements like, so how's everything going? You know, like it's just, I want people to know that I care. But then I just feel like I don't get that in return. And some people do. I'm not like, I don't mean to just give like a full blanket statement. Like it's obviously not everyone, but I do find that it's very hard to find people who ask questions. You know what I mean? Like there are so many people that I've hung out with for years where I feel like they don't even know me because they just don't ask anything. It just sucks. And I don't mean to complain. I hate being that person too. It's just, I've just let it bottle up so long. And I think just in general, it's hard to find really good people. And that's what makes it so special when you find genuine people. You're like, oh, you know, you just want to hold on to them. It's also just really hard meeting friends as an adult. I don't know why. Like, it just feels like people make it way more complicated than it needs to be. Like, for me, I don't think it's weird at all reaching out to somebody from like high school. Like, you happen to come across their page. You're like, oh, I remember that being like a nice person. You know, we've talked before. Let's try to, you know, set up a hangout. But it feels like other people are so standoffish, and I just don't get that. Like some people find that really weird. Like if you just reach out randomly, which I don't. I don't, maybe I'm the weirdo. And don't get me wrong, I'm not looking for like a really good friend to where like we're texting every day. I'm just not like a big like day-to-day texter kind of person. I just want someone to go out with, like preferably another like real couple, you know? I've been wanting to try this palette by Huda Beauty. This is the Pretty Grunge palette. Gonna dip into the shade Brave, which is a really pretty mauve shade. This career is also very isolating, both physically and mentally, because you're not around other people. You know, it's just you, which is something that I also really like about it. But the mental part that's really hard is that because not many people do this for a living, other people find it really hard to relate to you and they kind of insult you without meaning to. Like a lot of people will say, how's the makeup thing going? You're like, my job, it's good. How's the accounting thing going. Like, what the fuck? They demean what you do without really meaning to. And for me, I take that one very personally because I grew up with teachers telling me that I was just an idiot and that I would never amount to anything. So I don't feel like the sharpest tool in the shed. So I've always had that chip on my shoulder, feeling like I'm not good enough. And now I have a career that I'm absolutely in love with. I'm so blessed and grateful to have found this, and it feels so special to me, and I'm successful in it. And it's just upsetting to me. I feel weird saying that out loud. Like, I don't mean to be like high on myself because I'm not. Like, clearly, like, I'm, this is like why I'm saying it. And it's such a huge accomplishment, and I'm so proud of myself. But you don't really get that satisfaction when other people just constantly put you down because they don't understand what you do. A lot of people can't conceptualize how this is profitable. Like, they just don't understand how everything works. So their first inkling is to just automatically think that you're below them, which I just don't understand. I'm so uncomfortable talking about this because I don't want to come across as like better than or anything like that. I mean, I feel like it's pretty clear that I don't feel that way, but I just needed to vent about it. The shades of this palette are blending really well. I tend to not go for cool toned palettes just because I feel like they normally just make me have like an overall like dusty look to my face. I don't know what it is. I think it's just because it's a cool tone. It just kind of makes me look dead, which other people look so great with it. I don't know what that's all about. This is kind of random, but I thought it was interesting. There was a TikTok video that popped up talking about how crazy Black Friday used to be compared to now. Like, now the sales are like 20% off, and that's kind of like the maximum. Like, what is that? Like, why isn't it as crazy as it used to be? Because people used to get trampled over the deals that they were having in stores. I remember things being like 90% off. But I also feel like stores didn't used to have discounts throughout the year, and that was the time to get it because nothing was ever on sale. This eye look is kind of reminding me of the old school Halo eye, and it just made me wonder what ever happened to that. I mean, they did look a little crazy, but literally everyone did them. I don't know where I'm going with this eye look, but I think it's starting to look pretty muddy. I'm like trying to blend for dear life over here. I feel like this is definitely my doing. I don't think that this is any reflection on the palette. I'm just gonna do it on the other side and then we'll figure out how to make it work. For Black Friday, I caved and got those suede heels from Tora Bianco. I got them in the shea yellow. Sure that you guys have seen these everywhere, but they're normally 160 and they were on sale for 120, and I was like, I've had my eye on them forever, but I'm just not the luxury person in any sense of the word. Like, I don't really buy expensive things, especially when it comes to something that's considered more frivolous where I'm not really going to wear it all the time. Because these shoes, first of all, I probably shouldn't have gotten them because I have the weakest ankles of anyone, but I really just want to get on that trend of the mules, but I don't know if I can do it. So I sprained one of my ankles really badly on a trampoline. Like, my foot went sideways. Like, my foot fully went. And then my other one, I was sledding with my uncle and we didn't check out the spot beforehand. So we're going down the hill and it just drops. And all at the bottom were rocks. And he landed on top of my foot, which I was on top of rocks with him on top of my foot. So I fractured my one ankle. I just feel like after you've like fractured or sprained something, it's never the same. At least for me, like, my ankles have always been a weak point. And I wear heels all the time, but I just feel like without a strap holding them on, I just don't know how that's gonna go. My God, guys, this look is looking so patchy. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go in with the shade Haphazard, which is like a marbled shade, but it's not a matte shade, so hopefully a bit of sparkle will just cover this up. That's kind of doing something. I feel like that definitely disguised the patchiness, and then I'll just go in and clean it up in a little bit. I feel like this was the manifestation of my bad mood. I really should have done my foundation last. I feel like so much fallout. I'm just trying everything to finish this look because I'm not a quitter. We're moving on from these eyes. I'm gonna go on to lips. So this is the Mud Cosmetics lip pencil in Natural. It's my all-time favorite lip pencil. I've been wanting to try out this lip gloss. This is the Pixie Petra collab. This is in the shade Sheer Rose. I believe this is plumping. I can't see it on here, but I think I remember from the packaging. Ooh, this is a really nice shade. It actually looks very similar to my lip liner. I really like that formula. It's not sticky, and it has like a a cooling mint kind of tingle to it. Next up, I have this is also by Pixie. I didn't plan that. This is the Pixie by Petra brow sealer or brow tamer. I have such a hard time finding a really good brow gel, and I don't have super unruly brows by any means, but I haven't found one that keeps my brows in place. I normally just use hairspray on a spoolie. I don't know if I'm just getting used to having this eye look on or if I like kind of like it now. I feel like it's very 80s runway. Also, this is such a great mascara, by the way. This isn't a new one. Well, I think it's new for 2023, but this is the Fan Fest mascara by Benefit. It does such a good job at lengthening your eyelashes, and you can also give it that clumpy look if you like that. I do. Have you guys been watching the Kardashians? I'm so annoyed with this season, and I guess I'm part of the problem because I'm continuing to watch it. But why the heck are they making Tristan like the main focus of everything? Like, did they just not have anything to do this season? I just don't even understand. They keep trying to make him this like lovable goofball, and it's not working. Stop trying to make Tristan happen. It's never gonna. Like, are they just setting the stage to make it look like Chloe really played hardball this time before getting back together with him? Because I'm sure that that's where this is going. Like, otherwise, I just don't know why. Like, he's doing this like apology tour with all the sisters. It just doesn't even make any sense. Yeah, I don't know if this brow gel's working either. Because you can see my brows already kind of, the hairs are falling flat. Just gonna use some hairspray. Alright guys, here is the finished look. I don't hate it as much as I did. Although I'm not gonna bother changing my shirt or doing my hair to give the illusion that I'm going anywhere because I'm literally just gonna wash this off because I'm just still really in a bad mood. And I hope that I just was not too negative. I think I picked it up a little bit at the end, but I just really wanted to come on and talk to you guys. It was really hard to force myself to film this video and just to get back in the mode, but I do feel better after talking it out. I love you guys so much, and thank you for always being here. I know that I took quite a bit of a break on here, but I really do see you guys as friends, and I always, always, always feel better when I'm just open and honest with you about everything that's going on in my life, and hopefully you guys can relate. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I love you guys so much, and yeah, I will see you on the next one. I'm not going to say that I'm going to be back to weekly posts because I want to, but every time I say that, I feel like I post a video a couple months later. So I love you guys, and I'll see you next time.